Hope you're ready. It'll be here any minute.
Hey guys, so here are my thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Now, if you're a fan of the original Guardians of the Galaxy, then of course you're gonna love this movie because it's your same characters, has the same tone, same humor, and it's just jacked up with steroids and lots more money. So it's just basically Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, but bigger. So with that, it's obviously great. The spectacle, the special effects, the fight scenes, it's all really good. So I was a fan, so I enjoyed it. But there were times where like the pacing just felt a little off, or like the jokes weren't as funny as it should have been. For me personally, there was a few times where the jokes kind of landed a little flat and I didn't think it was like the funniest thing ever, unlike the first movie. So it wasn't so much that they were bad, it's just when you saw the first Guardians of the Galaxy, everything was like fresh, it was new, so of course it was just funny. So the second time around, you knew you were gonna get those kinds of jokes, but it just didn't strike the same way. And again, not because it was bad, but just because we've seen it before. But overall, it's a really good movie. The good thing about the sequel is it takes those characters that you love and it basically fleshes them out even more. In the beginning of the film, you know, there's this whole group fight scene, and then kind of in the second act, each character is off doing their own little storyline and fleshing them out more, and then of course in the final act, they all come back together, beat the bad guy, etc. The good thing about this movie is you kind of see more of those relationships between the characters play out. Characters like Yondu and Nebula, you kind of see more of their background and why they are the way they are. The biggest themes in the film is family. Family matters. You see that with the newest villain, Ego, who turns out to be Peter's father. You see that play out more in the relationship between Gamora and Nebula as their adoptive sisters of Thanos. And then Guardians of the Galaxy as the team together as a whole, as their makeup family. And then you even have Yondu, who's also a father figure to Peter Quill. So family is really important in this film. One of the relationships I was really glad to see more fleshed out was the relationship between Gamora and Nebula. And we learn as the audience why Nebula hates Gamora so much and why Thanos is basically a douche of a father. But hey, Baby Groot was just freaking amazing. Baby Groot can do no wrong. I can totally see why they added Baby Groot and why they would make so much money on anything with Baby Groot's face on it. The introduction of Mantis to the Guardians of the Galaxy was actually really well done. She basically comes in at first as the assistant to Ego, and you see that she has this empathic ability to like know what people are feeling and to actually alter what they're feeling as well. So it's kind of good to have her now on the team, to know actually someone with a power. But it's just her personality was very like soft and demure, and she was actually just like really kind in the film. So it's kind of good to have this balance because everyone on the team right now seems very erratic and off, and she actually seems very innocent. So it's good to kind of have her on the team and see what the balance that she'll bring in the third one. But I was a big fan of her. I'm glad she's in it. And some highlights of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and this is your spoiler warning, so stop watching right now because I don't want you to get mad and hate me because I ruined it for you. So, I've told you. So the reason why Nebula hates Gamora so much is basically Thanos would pit them against each other when they were growing up, and every time Nebula would lose, Thanos would basically replace a piece of her with Machine. He's replaced her eye, her arm, she even mentions her brain. So basically, Gamora kept on winning, Nebula kept on losing. She's a bit pissed about that, righteously so. But just seeing that dynamic play out was actually really good in the film because now it's like, okay, well actually Nebula has a personality and she isn't just, evil. Ego, as Peter Quill's father, I like the fact that they made him a Celestial. He's basically Ego, the living planet, which you see at the core is basically his celestial brain, which actually kind of looks like a brain, which I think is lame, but whatever. But I'm not quite sure how I feel completely about his father being a Celestial, because in the original Guardians of the Galaxy, when the Collector is discussing about the Infinity Stones, and he's talking about the Power Stone, you see the Celestial with the staff that has a stone, and he actually looks how a Celestial looks in the comic books. Ego is a living planet with a white, bright brain as the middle of the core. Not exactly how Celestial should look. Anyways, I'll let that one go. But the entire ending scene where Peter is fighting against his dad because Peter can access his celestial powers just kind of felt a little too easy. The third act was really good, but then the defeat of Ego was just kind of like, I felt for Celestial it should have been much more difficult to defeat him. And I was just kind of sad that now that he's gone, Peter has kind of lost his celestialness. So now he's just normal and average. And I thought that was kind of one of the really good threads through that was going to be taken through all three movies was what is it that makes Peter Quill so special? I didn't think it was going to be rectified and then taken away so quickly. So hopefully that does come into play maybe in the third one. Who knows? Aisha. She is one of the people of the Sovereign race. She's the gold skin one. She is not too pleased with the Guardians of the Galaxy at the end of the film. Actually for most of it. And we see that she is incubating in her nice fancy little cocoon, Adam Warlock. So that's going to be really good to see. And I really hope that they bring Adam Warlock into the third one. So that is definitely one of the 5 post-credit scenes in the film. So definitely go see Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It's really good fun. You'll walk out there singing again. The soundtrack is epic. And I'm actually going to go see it again tonight. So, yeah.